Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cow Corner Dugout, and here we are. This has been an exciting week at the IPL. We've seen fortunes tumble and change, and to discuss all of this today with me are the usual suspects of Nirav and Trinai, and we have one more new person today, Dorian, representing our Gen Z fan base. Hey, Dorian. Hi.
Yeah,
Why don't you
Yeah,
introduce
hi.
yourself to the audience out there?
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Dorian. I'm 19 years old, and I am. I How do I describe it? So, I'm currently in a love-hate relationship with everything yellow. Obviously, starting with Chennai Super Kings and um in football, Borussia Dortmund, and currently doing an internship in Times of India. And thought, okay, this could probably be a good place to belong because been watching
Sure.
the podcast as well. So I hit up Pranay. I was like, I would like to join, and he was like, okay, yeah. So hoping for a good
Sure.
time here.
Yeah. Welcome to the Cow Corner dugout. And we're actually feeling like CSK. Neerav and I are like on the other end of the spectrum in terms of age. And here we have it's like a transition. Like CSK went with Ayush
but
Matre, all these 18, 19-year-old people. And suddenly we have by Trinay, we have Dorian, two people on the Gen Z spectrum and two people who are on the 40 plus spectrum. But yeah, already feels like CSK. But that said, today GT is right now playing and it is looking like it's going to win. So GT would potentially move. I think they're on 10 right
nowhere,
now. Mo-
nowhere. The results of today haven't affected the points table,
But they would move to 12 points. GT would move to 12.
They
Punjab.
won't points,
but they
but
won't affect the points table. It'll be in the same position. They'll still be below RR. They're currently fifth. They'll stay fifth.
think probably net run rate.
So,
Probably net run rate because it doesn't look
no,
like
no,
they're
they'll
gonna
still
chase
stay. I
this.
checked. I checked this before.
Sai's gotten out, so there could be a mini collapse here.
They will go down to 6 or 7 wickets, but they'll win this. So I mean, I
Yeah,
don't. I mean, it's too easy a chase to bottle it. I
Yeah,
mean, I
fair
don't know.
enough.
It doesn't look like the Punjab's bowling has the potency because all the wickets were effectively gifted by um, by the GT
The top
batters.
three, yeah.
I mean, yeah, all of them.
Nirav, you had a very
They got
interesting point yesterday about how 18 points might be a minimum this season, assuming that
well,
the top
no.
teams
So
keep winning. So how
yeah,
do you think
so
today's
that's not
results?
happened today. So today's result hasn't changed anything. There is the rest of the week to figure out whether the top teams come down a notch. But there has been a pattern. The top four teams have all lost their last games. If we'll go to the points table somewhere, you'll see the red cross at the end of all the last four teams.
If you count
Whereas
this,
five, six,
Punjab have
seven,
lost
eight.
the last two.
Well, yeah, but at least one. So RCB's
Yeah.
lost their last game. Currently are sitting on a loss. SRH is currently sitting on a loss after the afternoon. RR lost their last game. So that's the top four. Whereas the rest of the next five actually are sitting on wins. GT is one winning. CSK is one. DC has won the last game. KKR has won the last game. That's four. Sorry. So it'll. I mean, at this point, today's games haven't affected the points table whatsoever. But I think this week will be exciting. I keep hoping it's going to be exciting because these have, whatever said and done, these last 3-4 games have been quite dull. They've been one-sided victories, one-sided simple chases.
Not just the last week. I
Today,
mean, the last
to,
thriller
no,
we
last
had
today,
was
today, both these games, yesterday's game. I mean, chasing in a canter has not been not doesn't augur well
very
for.
dull as well.
yeah.
Very extremely dull.
The
Right.
last proper match we had, interesting one, was the KKR LSE one, which we were all slandering on stream the night before. It actually turned out to be the best match we've had in a while. Quite ironically.
I think this is the universe balancing itself. They gave us so much excitement with one game that they okay, let's give them like five, 6 dull games just to like balance
Yeah.
the universe or something.
Two should
That
win,
said,
try to lose.
today, I'm not the number of the count of the number of people on the live stream is only showing people from YouTube. It's not showing people from X. So I don't know if somebody's able to view us on X
Okay,
because the
one
numbers
second.
are.
Let me just figure that out. Let me figure that out. Oops, maybe it's. Let
Meanwhile,
me
as
restart.
Nirav figures that out, there's a thought that I had with respect to one of the the teams, the way they played, because I was sitting by in a little place, dinner place in Goa, and somebody asked me, how is it that Punjab is losing? And the real observation here is that Punjab is also a side, and I think some question this also happened maybe on Twitter or our own Cow Corner group, where somebody said that Punjab is a fairly ordinary side. They are able to bat very well on these roads. If you take the pitch, if you take a proper pitch and give them a pitch with some life on it, these guys are not able to bat because they are trained like the way England was trained, saying if it's a road, I will score 250 plus. They have that ability, which is good. But on what is otherwise a 150, 170 track, they are not able to push and get above par when they're batting first. And usually we've seen sides are struggling when they bat first, right? RCB's twice lost these games when they've batted first. RCB's also looked a little clueless when they are batting first. So that way, I think we are now seeing the impact of the toss, where sides that are otherwise touted to be good 8 times out of 10 are discovering their Achilles heel when they bat first. So do you think Gujarat, sorry, I mean like the way we've seen GT and Punjab Kings, these sides have any inherent weakness? To me, I'm seeing Punjab as okay. This is the first time they are starting. I think they're losing now 2 in a row. Punjab did lose one game earlier, right?
Yeah, they've now lost. I mean, assuming today's game is on.
2 in a row. Two losses in a row, basically, counting today.
Including today's, yeah.
So I think now we're seeing a very different side to Punjab, where I think whatever loose ends are there, it's now getting targeted. Teams are targeting it after seeing Punjab get to 6 victories in the points table. So what do you think are the weaknesses that Punjab as a team have?
Dorian, want to start?
You go first, cause
okay. All of their I feel all of their batsmen besides Shreyas Iyer are somewhat flat track bullies. I've watched Connolly play some first class and some cricket back in Australia. He's good, but you wouldn't expect him to get you out of a pickle. Same goes with Arya and Prab, right? They're somewhat power play merchants who can't smash spin like the others can. Shashank is good, he's quality, but there is something lacking in that batting on a whole. But they come together really well as a unit. And their bowling is, as Nirav said on a previous stream, the wheels are slightly coming apart, right? Bartlett had started the season well, but he fell off after that, and then they replaced him with Lockie. So things are slightly confusing for them, but I do expect them to go first in the table.
Yeah,
I think honestly, it's also a combination of sorry, Dorian. I think it's one thing that I had is Jason Holder, if you remember, bowled the same slow off cutters even versus RCB. I'm seeing a pattern because maybe both these top sides, RCB and Punjab, have come up against Gujarat Titans. And the game that RCB lost on Thursday night, that also happened at the Namo Stadium, right? But something about slow off cutters and Jason Holder. So I think I've just noticed this as a pattern, saying if you have a high quality bowler who's able to control the middle overs after your bowlers are getting power play wickets, I think this is what probably gets the two top teams in the league today. This is probably what can slow them down, and as a result, they make mistakes. That's just an observation that I had. Go ahead, Dorian. You had a point to say.
Yeah. So I think I agree with Pranay's point about a lot of the batters being mostly flat track bullies apart from Shreyas Iyer. There's also the fact that Nehal Vadera has not really performed at all this season. So you're basically having like just one wicket that just exists.
A walking wicket.
Yeah, a walking wicket basically. I also haven't really seen much from the bowling either when it comes from Punjab. So obviously Bartlett gets hit a lot. He takes the odd wicket here or there, but he still goes for way too many runs. There's also Vaishak who oftentimes goes for way too many runs. And then Arshdeep has not really carried over that T20 World Cup form.
But the way you say that, right, you're making it look like they are a bad team. They've won 6 games. They're at the top of the points table. They've just stumbled this week where they've had a couple of victories. I think 8 out of 10, they're a good side. They have their combinations in place. 2 out of 10, they are suddenly discovering chinks in the armor. I think the question was more about what are the chinks in the armor. I'm not saying that this is a completely weak side. Punjab is the best side in the tournament. Punjab was almost the best side last year. Like I remember traveling all the way to Ahmedabad last year because I was really impressed with the way Shreyas Iyer batted, and with the way Shreyas Iyer led the team and Ponting, coming, I think they present an exciting brand of cricket. The question really is about what is that chink in the armor that they have. This is what I could, decipher. Are there any other chinks in the armor?
Okay.
Besides,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
besides half the batters being flat track bullies, I don't see much, and the bowling as well. But they're a team that can make above par scores on flat tracks, and their bowlers are decent enough to defend it, right? Or give concede pass scores, and then their batters are good enough to chase it. We saw that against Delhi. They're not a pathetic bowling attack. They're a par or a slightly below par bowling attack, and their batsmen can on flat tracks can very easily hit 10, 20, 30 runs more than par, right, on most flat tracks, but they can't do that when the pitch has something to offer, or when you have a guy who's 6'8" bowling slow off cutters.
Okay, I don't fully
Yeah.
agree. I don't think they're only for flat track bullies. I think in general they've got the best batting unit, and in that sense, very comparable to RCB in that sense that there are a bunch of good 8 or 9 batters. Uh, their bowling is their weak spot. Their bowling, and as I said, I think a couple of times, is that their bowling has actually been going downhill. They started well, and gradually they are giving away more and more runs. So maybe I'll agree with Trinay to the sense that Punjab's bowling is par, but their batting is always 40 over par. So irrespective of pitch conditions, poor pitch or bad pitch, they will always score. And every team, no team goes through unbeaten. You have 14 games, typically 10 is the best case scenario wins, and Punjab is still on track to get there. So it's not like they are disappearing, and every team has a nightmare day. Delhi's had a 75 all out day at home, right? The day after they put up 260, or 2 days after they put up 265. So these things do happen to every team. Every team has one. Even last year, Punjab had a 116 all out. It's just that they happened to win that game, right? So there will be days. There will be days where their bowlers will be called in to bowl well, and today is one of the days. The bowlers have, but the batters didn't post enough of a score, right? So it when I mean there are par scores and there are par scores, and these are not today. They were 20 and 20 25 under par at the very least. It was a tough wicket to bat on, no doubt. So when they and today, if they, I mean, one wicket less in the early phase of the game, they could have very well got to 180. At one time, they were looking well on track for 170, 175 with Shetty
Stoinis and
and
Shekte.
Stoinis
Sorry, said yeah.
around. There was a point where it was looking, maybe after 15th or 16th over, where they said, okay, now a good three overs here or 4 overs here, they could get to 170, 175. Having said that, I don't think that would have been enough as well. And it's one of those days where you lose wickets through good balls. It was a fantastic power play, and GT has been pulling that off repeatedly. Now this is the third consecutive game where they bowled six. Siraj and Rabada have bowled the entire power play. And today again 3 wickets and one immediately after. I think in the 8th over Shreyas went, and then one more Nehal Vadera went in the 9th over. So last year also this was their formula, where Rabada wasn't doing as well, but Siraj and Rabada were getting into the beginning, into the game, and then Prasidh was the third enforcer. Whereas this year that role is being, was not played by Prasidh. Prasidh is benched. Prasidh and Glenn Phillips have gone out, and Jason Holder has come in. So I think that he's doing that role. He's had a fantastic couple of games, and he's been a large impact player in both the low scores, because in the middle overs he's not allowed the opposition team to get away. I mean, there are teams which have poor power plays, but they come back in the middle overs, or if they're not allowed to. Like for example, when RCB played GT, they didn't allow them to come back because they kept bowling the best bowlers, right? They kept bowling Bhuvi and Hazelwood. They finished out their quota, and then I think whoever was the third bowler, fourth bowler, they kept keeping the pressure on. So there were no easy middle overs to get set. Whereas today, from one end they were. I mean, one end Arshad and Rashid Khan were giving a scope for Shedgay and so Stoinis to kind of get in. 2 loose overs, 45 runs came on those 2 overs, 127 run over and 118 run over, and it was suddenly game on, right? So now coming to your question, Karthik, sorry for this long ramble. Your question was how do you stop
What's the chink in
Punjab?
the armor? Yeah. What is that
Yeah,
chink in the armor that teams are starting to
the
notice?
chink in the armor is you have to bowl good. You can't give them length balls on leg stump, which allows them to get. What happens is if you bowl a bad ball up front in the over, Priyansharya or Prabhsirman Singh will get a six. And when once you get a six of the first two balls, the bowler is under pressure for the rest of the over, right? You have to keep the only way to limit their scoring is to get them out. The only way to get them out is to make them try and hit a ball which is not hittable, right? There are of course times when they will hit a perfectly good ball, but I think today Siraj kept bowling just a back of length outside off stump, asking Priyansh Arya to fetch it from outside off stump. First ball he got away, the ball carried, top edge to fine leg, didn't go to Joss Butler's gloves. But the second ball, he then slashed at it and it went to third man. So these are ways I think you have to identify what your line and length is. And Siraj bowled three balls straight in that corridor, right? You have to keep doing that. You can't give them, you can't be spraying it around. And if you see their
Right.
pitch maps of Siraj and Rabada and Jason Holder, they're spot on. They're bowling. They found that one place which is working for them, and that the ball he bowled to Nehal Vadera, he bowled seven of them before that as well. It's just that one
Right.
which got him out. Right, the previous over he almost bowled a maiden to him, I think.
Right. And in that
Or was
same
that Rabada?
answer
Sorry.
lies another. No, no, not at all. In the same answer, there is another question that's coming up. While we've spoken about what does it take to stop Punjab, we have now seen three victories coming from Gujarat Titans. Last Sunday versus CSK, last Thursday versus RCB, today versus Punjab. I'm tempted to
It's
say
not
they
done
beat
yet.
three
It's
top
19 of 16 balls
19 or
with 5
16.
wickets in hand.
I'm tempted to say that Gujarat has beaten the top three teams. Unfortunately, in this edition of the IPL, CSK isn't there as the top team. But if you look at all these three victories, while they have a good bowling attack, it's also imperative that they were lucky with the tosses in terms of all
Yes.
these games Gujarat was chasing in due. And that sometimes makes a huge difference to your fortunes. Because one is, do you have the team or the talent that can pull you out of a subpar, above par kind of a chase? But here, I think with due, I think it's still good enough to say that there is a fair advantage that good teams can potentially create. What do you think? The toss is something that's vital, or do you think Gujarat would have still managed above par from what we've seen?
I think the toss is vital for most teams. Um, I think it's true of Punjab as well. I think they have only, they won most of their first 7 games, which they went unbeaten. They lost only one toss, uh, as far as I remember. And the last, but they have won games without winning the toss as well. So, but largely the toss is making an impact. It's been making an impact. We can do a study on how many of the 44 games have been won by the team winning the toss. I would say it would be in the high 30s. There have been barely, out of 44 games, I don't think there have been more than 5 or 6 games where the toss has not made a difference. So it's a high percentage, I would say. Again, it's not I don't know for sure, but that's my guesstimate.
No, these are interesting conversations to go back and check for us to also see. Because if you're making a statement trying to say that the hypothesis is that because they're chasing, they're able to actually get these victories under their belt. Because even last night when you look at it, right, CSK versus MI, CSK did a good job to reduce MI, and there was a point where Hardik Pandya was struggling so much. The pitch, of course, was a little tough to when you're batting first. But in the end, CSK had like an 18th over canter where CSK won that game last night. So I'm just trying to see, okay, maybe we still haven't gone to that part of the summer where teams are able to bat first and still win. Either they need a very good bowling attack, or if you have just middling bowling attacks, then these are the results that are going to play out. Where with a middling bowling attack, you're able to restrict the opposition and then you're about to chase runs. Reminds me a little of the 2021 T20 World Cup in the Middle East, where Dew decided a lot of lot of games, except the England Sri Lanka game back then, where I think England batted first and won. But yes, that's just a thought or observation. And while we are, what is the score right now? Just wanting to check. 17 of the last two
147 for
overs
today.
required.
Yeah.
So as much as we're speaking so much about Gujarat, Gujarat's also finding ways to bottle. Rahul Tewatia, their impact player, just got out, caught by Xavier Bartlett off Marco Jansen, 2 runs of 6 balls. We have Jason Holder. So totally,
It's
these guys have
17
scored
of 12.
4 runs of 10 balls. That too in their death overs. That's a Gujarat has a very very mean way to choke.
No, no.
Now
I think we started this conversation. We said they will take it down to they will lose 6 7 wickets. That's for Steve Bhai, but in the end they'll win it. So I mean, I expected that. It's safe to say that they're not going to
No, it's
do
still
it
looking
clinically.
like Punjab can sneak something or pull some BS and run
I
away with
think
it.
it really
See, the thing
depends on
is,
the
it's going to
RCB
be
over.
by the looks of it, thing, it's going to be Stoinis for the last over. So
Oh
you
shit!
know,
Oh yeah, never mind.
yeah,
because RCB is bowling the
Never mind.
19th over.
yeah.
Stoinis has
Everybody else
done
is bowled out.
hasn't bowled
Bartless
professionally
is
since
bowled out.
2022.
No,
Yeah,
as
I
much as
think
we
this is the first
say
time
things,
he's bowling this season.
It's Stoinis is
No,
not Dubey. Yeah, I think we need to go check the bowling difference between somebody like Stoinis and Dubey. We feel
no,
Stoinis is
Stoinis
that
is at
guy.
No,
Stoinis is
Stoinis
at
is a
two
proper
overs for
bowler.
12 runs as of now. He's a proper bowler.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right
He's
now
not
he's
a,
at
He's
two
a
he's
overs
not
for
a
proper
12
bad
bowler,
runs.
bowler.
but you wouldn't give him an over the death, is what I'm saying. For Australia in the T20 and the one day setup, he would take the new ball or first change at times. The
Yeah,
death is something
earlier.
you wouldn't give him.
He can, I mean, at his peak, he could crank it up to 140.
Yeah, at his peak,
Uh,
but he's old, man. What, late 30s?
well, I don't know how old.
You
Look,
might
40s
still
14
get
or
aren't old.
the
10 is what.
30s aren't old. 40s aren't old. Then, when you get there, you'll realize that this is where
For
life starts.
they start
It's
a bit of
prime.
it,
It's
right?
prime.
for a
The life is
Prime.
professional
prime.
sports person, it kind of is.
So we have a comment coming from Arthav. Why don't one of you read it? I'm just going to go get some water.
Okay. It says GT is preparing decks according to its strengths. Green tops. Maybe they are the only team with the top order that can survive swing and seam. All the other teams have mostly one tonker with them.
RCB.
Um,
RCB can survive the
Yeah,
green
RCB
tops.
can.
Perhaps. I don't know if this was a full green top. It was a I think it was a fairly competitive wicket. And if the toss had gone the other way, I think GT's openers would have struggled as well. I mean, not in the sense that it was green topic, but there was good bounce and carry, which was true of the last game as well. So it's not a flat track in the sense that it's coming on very evenly, but there was a bit of up and down and a little bit of there was something in there if you bent your back, or if you put the ball in the what they say the right areas. So I think yeah, it's not a. I mean, Punjab's bowlers have done well as well. They've currently at 12 runs of 8 balls. So it's not like GT ran away with the game with their batting or that it was So Punjab's bowlers were in the game as well. That, as I said, like 15 minutes ago, if 175 could have been tough, you know. So there were
Again,
today the
GT,
Punjab's batting is slightly under par, but in general they haven't been.
GT's mold is their bowling attack can get most teams out below par, and their top three batsmen will chase it down most of the time. And
Yeah.
that's why they prepare such tracks in Ahmedabad, right? Because their strength is their
Well,
bowling.
I mean, earlier in the season they were 220, which was chased also, right? In one of the games, wasn't there?
True, but that's before Rabada hit form. Rabada had a shit
And
3
as
or 4
we
matches, and then he
talk,
started
Jason
taking those
Holder is
wickets.
out. Jason Holder is out. So this has been
Ooh.
a complete drama unfolding. 12 of 7 balls.
As
This
usual,
could
I am
Washington
extremely
Sundar.
delayed.
this could be like a very interesting game. I think we jinxed it when we said that all the matches have been like a bit dull. We could have another
Yeah.
final ball finish
Yeah.
over here.
Oh, I'll take it, man. I'll take it any day.
Yep.
So it's been 12 of 7 balls as we speak, with Washington Sundar on 34 at one end, at the non-strikers end currently. Jason Holder.
Who's walking out?
Possibly, I would imagine Rashid at this point.
Probably
Although
Rashid,
Manasutar,
yeah.
Arshad Khan, and who else? Oh, so got at long
Rabada
on
and
green catch up.
Manasutar left. So probably Rashid Khan's
Manasutar.
coming out.
Okay.
Probably they'll send in Rashid,
Why do
and
you
he'll
think
swing
Rashid
wildly.
has been dropped? Anybody wants to take that?
I don't know. I mean, he was not doing well, I guess. I mean, so they decided. So they went. I mean, Ashok Sharma and Prasid both were started, and both have seemed to be like now discarded, because I have a feeling GT wants to bring in their all rounders because they don't have proper batsmen at 4, 5, 6. So I think they're trying to make as many all rounders as possible. Nishant Sindhu is a like from his under 19 days, he was the main left arm spinner in his under 19 batch, which was the when Yashdul was the captain. So that would have been 22 maybe. So in the finals of that thing, he bowled as a first change left arm spinner in the final. I saw that. I remember seeing the final. It was in West Indies, and he scored a 50 at batting at number 4. So he's a top order batter and an all rounder. So is Manav Sutar, bats 5 or 6 for his domestic team, left arm spinner. So there are a lot of these guys, Washington Sundar, who are uh, semi all rounder category kind of people. So it's Arshad Khan who's coming, and
Oh wow.
not so 11 of 6 with Arshad Khan on strike to Marcus Stoinis. Karthik,
Gonna
you're
be
on
one
mute.
heck of a finish.
Yeah,
Either
I
that
said
or
11 of
Washington
6,
gets
11 of
sixes.
6 to get to 12 points. I think that'll make it the fifth team, right? That'll get to 12,
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 and beyond.
Yes.
I think we should just keep an eye on the points table as the game nears an end. We're in that final over.
Yeah. So once the game is over and the official points table is out, I'll share it. But in terms of irrespective of who wins this game, it's not affecting the standings.
No, that's true,
Punjab will
but I
stay
think
at 1 and GT will stay at 5. And the afternoon game also, SRH stayed at 3 and KKR stayed at 8, irrespective of who won that game. I mean, if
But
SRH had won, then they would have temporarily gone to the top of the table, but they didn't.
it creates a divide between the top five and the bottom five, right? Like Karthik has addressed this before. There's a huge
Yeah.
skill gap between the top five and the bottom five, and if GT moved to 12, then that
Mhm.
divide becomes a lot clearer.
They're in the
Larger.
mix.
Yeah.
They're in the mix, yeah.
I think it also puts a
And
bit of pressure on the next two teams because both SRH and RR lost their recent games. So there's now pressure because now GT can like come and topple either one of them out of the playoffs. So if there's any like hope of like any playoff race, unless CSK goes on a mad run, right now GT is the one that's gonna really mix up the playoff race.
CSK don't look like serious competition. They're trying out youngsters for next season, as we saw yesterday. So I wouldn't be too concerned about them. DC, on the
Trying
other
out
hand,
and
I
also
think,
getting injured. Don't forget.
yeah, Ramakrishna
Yeah,
goes.
Ramakrishna Ghosh, yeah, got injured. But I think that's how all CSK
11
fans
of
are just
6.
keeping it. I think all the yellow fans are just keeping it quiet. They're waiting for the time that they will get inside. Because otherwise, if all that CSK fans have, even if there's a gunfight, is that, hey, we have 5 cups. And that's how the conversation goes.
Seven
So,
cups.
7, including Champions League. But
Yeah,
here, 19.1, 158 for 6. I think I'm
and at
happy
the
with the
four.
way Punjab have actually,
So 6 of
from the
5.
position 6 or 5. I like the way they brought this game to where it was because Punjab struggled, losing 50 odd for 5. To come back from there and actually take it to the 20th over, I think is commendable effort from Punjab.
They were
Yeah.
38 for 4 within the power play, I'd
They
like to
were,
say. With
yes.
38
They
for
were
4.
38 for 4 in the
No,
7 overs or
30
something like that. 7.
immediately after the power play. Yeah. The
Yeah.
over after the when Shreyas got out.
And then they lost another, and then Steiner walks in, and then
Nehal.
him and
So I think it was
Yeah,
40
Nehal
some
gets out.
48, 49 for 5. And then they had a
Yeah.
80-run partnership.
And then Shekday walks out, and then they start rotate, and then they get the
Yeah,
45
yeah.
runs in the 2 overs.
I don't know how much he ended at, but at one point he was 14 runs or 14 balls. And I think he finished 50 something of 30, 32.
Stoinis was 40 of 30, and in all likelihood, I feel they left runs on the board because of how good he was hitting it, and
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
that did affect.
he got out. I mean, both got out. Yeah, I think that mattered in the
No,
end.
that most of the time that's going above the fielder, right? He didn't get enough under it, which is not an unlucky dismissal per se, but
Yeah, so
most of the
14
time when
of
it's power
14, and he
play.
finishes 57 of 29. So that was
Yeah,
commendable. I mean, largely he hit 26 or 5 balls against Manav Sutar, right? That was the game changer of.
oh, drop
And at
another
that
drop.
time,
Drop. How many have they run here?
Oof.
a double, so it's 4 of 4. Arshad Khan.
4 for 4.
Well, they're taking it
I
really
think
close.
I think he's making a vie for the number 4 batting slot for GT,
Hmm.
showing off all his shots.
No, he's a again. These guys are proper all rounders. That is the problem with GT is they don't have top order batsmen anymore. But there's nobody else. There is nobody else in the bench. They have
Where
only
is
fast
Kushagra?
bowlers on the
What
bench.
happened
Kushagra. That's their only option.
to him?
So
Like, are
I
they?
don't know. They're obviously not trusting him. But apart from that, there are only fast bowlers on the bench. There's Ishant Sharma, Kulwant Kejrolia, Ashok Sharma, Prasidh Krishna. These guys are all sitting on the bench. Maybe one or two more I'm forgetting.
They could
4
use
of
that
3.
mid-season. They could use that mid-season trade window to trade with DC, right? Give them
Nobody
one
does
of your
that, man.
fast bowlers.
We've seen
Yeah, they
mid-season
don't.
trades. We've spoken about it. Nobody wants to do it. But I mean,
It's a
like,
good
I'm just
potential
trying
trade,
to.
though, right? One of LSG or GT trading one of their many fast bowlers for one of DC's excessive batsmen. Abhishek Porel would walk into the side 14 games out of 14.
So the question is, would a team want
Probably
like
not, because Abhishek Borel needs to bat in the top 3. So it's, you know,
Oh shit. Okay, then Rizvi or no, they wouldn't give Rizvi. Okay, someone
very
they have enough.
interesting. Today, GT were 23 ahead in the power play. In the middle overs, they were 21 behind. So I think this game has just become very even after that. Punjab scored 37 for 3 in the last 4 overs. They're 33 for 2 right now, GT. And I'm hoping they don't really bottle this up.
that is out. No, he's not.
Who, Arshad Khan?
Missed. Missed. The run out was missed.
He was
That's
never
4
out for them.
runs. 3,
Sundar on
3,
strike.
3 of
3
2.
of 2.
3 of 2.
Yeah. Come on,
Bravo.
Vashi. Another super over.
Oh, that
You never know. That'll be fun.
that could
Our
be.
second super over. That could be fun.
Who bats for
I don't think
GT? in that-
Karthik has the energy for it.
No, but who bats for GT in that situation?
He
Who
bats for
actually
GT,
bats?
Shubman Gill and Josh Butler.
What?
Why would you-
No,
That's
no,
Shub-
no.
I think they'll
Shubman Gill,
just,
Josh,
yeah, they'll
Shubman
just
Gill,
play
Josh
their top
Butler,
three.
and
Jason Holder,
one
maybe?
drop size Sudarshan.
And with
Maybe,
that,
yes,
I
you're
think
right.
GT has won 167
Oh,
for
damn.
6.
Yep.
So yeah, so now we're speaking about 12 points on the points table, which now takes it to a very interesting scenario where Punjab Kings are on 13, Gujarat Titans are on 10, 12, but Punjab has played one game lesser. Gujarat would have played 10 games.
Yeah, Punjab has played 9 after this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Punjab. But yes, so it means that there are 5 teams clearly in contention. And there is, of course, the lower rung of teams where CSK and DC have 8 points, and what probably separates them is 2 wins. But at this stage, just think the top 5 teams have a lot going for them. It would require superhuman effort for CSK and DC to squeeze in here and make a case for themselves. What do you think?
I mean, they have to. You weren't here, Karthik. We discussed this. So, if those two teams have to make it, they have to beat all the top teams. And if they beat the top teams, then they deserve to be in the playoffs. So right now, you have to knock one of the big boys down. Right? That's the only way
Absolutely.
to. And you have to go on a 4 out of 5 game winning streak.
Yeah, and the top
And
3 is a
GT
lock.
is-
Yeah.
Nothing is a lock right now. I just feel that everything is now settling down at 12. GT's got that
Yep.
one point versus Kolkata. Otherwise, it would have been 14 because they played a Kolkata which was completely out of sorts. Now Kolkata is like one win behind CSK. CSK are a couple of wins behind the table toppers of 12. CSK are on 8, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a season of near misses and near miss opportunity. But that said, for Gujarat Titans, I think what's now starting to come good is the fact that they have a great set of bowlers. Initially, Rashid Khan was out of sorts, and even
Yeah,
with
he's still out of
Rabada.
sorts, man.
Okay, but I think the last game, 4 overs, 1 made in 3 for 17 or 2 for 19. I think it is not peak Rashid Khan, but Rashid Khan is still able. It's not like he has lost his touch like say Varun Chakravarti did. While he
Varun
was
Chakravarti
definitely
actually has
not.
bowled very well today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
No,
hit
I'm
the
not.
line.
There are good days and bad days, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just talking of those 7-8 match bad days that he had from the World T20 leading into the IPL. I just meant that particular period. But that said, so given we've spoken on Varun Chakravarti, do we go back to the game that happened earlier today?
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
why not?
we can.
So that was SRH taking on KKR, and in an extremely, again, another twist where this game was played at Hyderabad. And I thought usually Hyderabad has these flat tracks, right, where you score at about 10 and over. Did you think that Hyderabad just did not aim correctly after what Travis Head and
No,
Ishan
they
Kishan
just
did?
they just bottled it again. Because
Yeah,
again, they were after 9 overs, they were 105. The wicket didn't change. It's just that they got out.
they let off
So
64
eventually,
runs for 9 wickets,
yeah.
which is a dramatic collapse, to say the
And
least.
that's something that KKR
So
would pull off, right? And you had Smaran Ravichandran come in,
Yeah,
a team change here, and then the lower order collapsed. Klaasen, who's been
I
making runs
think
every single game.
I think
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
Roman Powell catch changed everything because immediately after that stunner, like SRS just fell apart pretty much.
Yeah, and you'd expect Head to, capitalize a little bit, right? Because when you're in that red hot form, you ride it till the very end. Ideally, he should have got 100, especially with, wickets falling. One of him or Kishan should have gone on, taken the game deep, as in, get a bigger score. Klassen and Abhishek didn't make runs for once. They're human, completely acceptable. But they are having those lower order issues, that we wouldn't associate with them generally, but it's been creeping up for the last couple of games.
And I like the way Varun Chakravarti came in the middle overs after the wickets were gone, which is Travis Head and Hendrik Klaasen. To get, I think Varun got Travis Head, then he got Aniket, and I think Halil Arora was bowled by Nareen. Smaran, I think. Those were the wickets that Varun
Smaran,
had.
yeah.
So like 3 for 30 odd in a 4 over spell, which is I think number 9 and over or so. I think it's good to see somebody like Varun and Nareen deliver their 11, 12 dot balls in a 4 over spell. It just means that these guys are operating at their level of capacity. It's good to see suddenly Kolkata trying to get back into a league, and the way SRH self-evaluated. I think there are a few points here for SRH to address to say, okay, what else after their top four? Do you think they're also a side? Or I'm seeing this with even with Gujarat or even with I can't say Punjab because Punjab just failed more recently, but with sides like Gujarat and SRH. Are we seeing a top four side in terms of batting? And if they fail, the middle order isn't good enough to adjust. Is that a trend or is this one off?
There is a quality dip, right? A significant quality dip between their top four and all the other batsmen. That's why Smaran Ravichandran came in. They tried Livingstone there, clearly didn't work. So there is a very clear quality gap, and they don't seem to have a plan after the top four get out. I'm not saying they don't have a plan. I'm saying they're hoping that one of them comes off and one of them go big, and then the rest of them can just fill in the gaps later on. That's something that didn't happen today. Two of them got away, but you'd expect more from everybody else and more from them as well.
In fact, I thought they did a similar level bottling versus CSK. They got a slightly lower under par total of 194. But luckily, their bowlers did very well. They were able to push back, and CSK batted extremely badly. So there's one game that CSK lost. But yeah,
Also,
that said, I think
has Praful
uh,
Hinge been dropped, or is he injured? Because Harshal Patel came in today.
one doesn't know that unless if they've told the word back spasm, that's code for being dropped.
Yeah.
So that
So
so
Nirav,
I think perhaps they read their wicket. They read the wicket wrong. I think Pat Cummins at the toss also he wasn't sure of what the wicket will be, and they expected it to disintegrate or to become slower. And I think that was the reason they picked Harshal Patel. They also let go of Harsh Dubey and brought in their
Shivan Kumar.
wristy Shivang. So I think I think perhaps they just read it wrong. And I don't know, maybe it was a pretty decent batting wicket.
Their two
Seemed, I
best
mean,
bowlers, Cummins and Ishan, went for plenty of runs, right? They took
yeah.
one wicket between them. So maybe, and spin was working for the other side.
And yeah,
Maybe play Hunt
Ishan
and
today
Shivam
was
together.
particularly weak. I think he's been very good for them through the season,
Yeah,
but today I think he was just
Ishan has
spraying it a
been
bit too much down the leg side.
Ishan has been one of the best, most economical bowlers in the league, and Cummins has had a pretty good return to the IPL himself.
Yeah.
You'd expect, and both of them bowled in the power play. You'd expect either wickets from them or to hold it in, but both of them couldn't do that, and in the end, yeah, we saw what happened. But I feel Abhishek Sharma first up to Rahane was a really good move. I feel that's a slightly data driven because of his power play strike rate and his post power play strike rate. And Abhishek was a good move. He bowled two in the power play and he conceded 14. That was a good move from Cummins and co. But after that, I think it just went downhill. He just started rotating bowlers randomly to an extent after that. Nothing much really from there.
Do you,
Allen.
as much as you call it a good matchup, right? Do you think a bowler of Abhishek Sharma style is actually able to go? Is a wicket taking option? Is more a restrictive option? I can
No,
agree
as
that
a
you want to bowl Abhishek Sharma when you see. It's not like, okay, you can say that Rahane starts slow against slow left arm orthodox bowlers. Now there's a difference of high elite slow left arm orthodox bowlers versus somebody who's not really bowling. I think Abhishek Sharma did bowl a little bit in the World Cup, but that was more after matches had already been decided.
Yeah.
So
That was when we were trying to flex.
Yeah, it's
it,
just giving them some
in the Pakistan game.
experience, I guess.
Okay, no, I think you misunderstood me. I think they saw what spin was doing for the opposite. For Narayana Chakravarti got five each. I think they were trying to restrict Rahane, get them off to a slow start so that the runs accumulate. I'm not saying I don't think he would have gotten them out. I'm saying the chance of him not going for runs is pretty high because Rahane smashes pace in the power play. I think that's where they were coming from. As you said, it's a restrictive option more than a wicket taking one.
right. No,
It
sure.
was a high
And
risk option as well because Rane could very well have taken a single and then turned it over to Finn Allen, right? So it was a very high risk option. I
Both
don't know
are
what the
pace bash.
matchup against Finn Allen.
No, but both bash pace. Right, both are power play pace bashers. If you had
Yeah, but
Rahane,
it's not just
if
pace. No, they will bash shit pace, right? So it's also
yeah,
what Karthik is saying is about if you bowl good stuff to them, they won't bash it. No, whereas Abhishek is highly likely to bowl long hops and full toss. I mean, he's not a consistently good line and length kind of a bowler.
also on a slight side note, who do you think is honest question here? No trolls, no miming. Who do you think is the better bowler between Abhishek Sharma and Prashant Veer?
I haven't seen enough of Prashant Veer in
Haven't
in
seen
in,
enough.
in match. I've seen one over. No, yesterday he bowled one over, right?
He bowled
Two
two when
overs.
he went for 25.
First over we went
He
for
went,
18. Second he went for 7.
I didn't see the second over. So,
Okay, fair enough.
and Abhishek
Yeah,
has 6 seasons of experience behind him. No?
Yeah.
yeah,
Prashant
he
Veer
has bowled a
never
bunch.
performed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prashant Veer has the higher paycheck.
No,
I
Abhishek
mean,
gets paid 16, right?
Does he? How?
I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
or
No.
It's Abhishek
Klaasen
Sharma.
is at Klaasen. No, Abhishek is third in that team. Retained at third.
Klaasen,
Pat Cummins.
head Klaasen Cummins. Oh.
last season it says his contract was around 14 crores worth.
Yeah, so yeah.
So
In and around.
about the same, but we are. I mean, Prashant Veer also wasn't really done any favors. First over of his IPL career, and he faces Ryan Rickelton, who rightfully so bashed him for 3 sixes. So yeah, he kind of got
And
fed to
he's
the
a run
wolves
out
there.
form, right? He's coming off the century.
Yeah, he's coming
Hard.
off a century as well. So he got fed to the wolves there. And if you think everything considered, he had a decent comeback in the second over, considering just 7. But yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
enough
that
on
said,
CSK
going
and
back to the
Prashant Veer.
game, going back to the game that was there, Kolkata Knight Riders. I was happy to see Ankush Raghuvanshi finally, get like a good knock, trying to get himself into form. But do you also think this is an interesting question here? Now, do cricketers who have high ceiling and high potential should they take their time out in the middle to get into form? Because what that would mean is they're able to win maybe one or two games on their own when the opportunity comes by. And to me, I think it was good to see somebody like Ankush Raghuvanshi take his time, out there in the middle. Because if I look at his so far games, I don't remember all his games. Apart from the 59 he scored today, he's largely had single digit scores in the games that Kolkata has played versus Lucknow, Rajasthan, Gujarat, the earlier game. And also maybe with CSK, I think he's got a start, but didn't score big 20 odd runs. So I think
No,
it's good that somebody
no. Against CSK, they were. I don't know if it was him or Rahane. They kept him on strike, and he wasn't able to rotate. He wasn't able to get off. He wasn't able to score a boundary, and then
Okay, so
he chips one in the air.
so f- he's had two failures, honestly, because one of them he got run out, that Green and his run out thing, which was not really his fault, and one he got I think a first bowler against, I can't remember which game it was, right? So I would say apart from that, he scored 350s and a couple of 40s. He's at close to 300 runs for the season. So I wouldn't particularly say he's out of form. He's been patchy, and in terms of his run scoring, but I mean I have a contrarian opinion to you. I think that he actually slowed down, right? In a
right,
game which was a one-sided game from the time KKR finished the power play, at which time they
right,
were 70 odd in six overs. It was a one-sided game. So for a guy who's in his first 10 balls, he's hit 2 4s and 2 6s. He's going at, I think at some stage he was 24 of 13 balls, right? From there, with a close to 200 strike rate, let me put it this way. From there, you finish at 125, 130 strike rate is not okay. So for me, that is not. I mean, what are you doing? Same thing with Rane. Rane was at a much higher.
Yeah.
So I mean, are you so scared of losing that you forget to win? Like that's this had to be. You have to gear up from there. You have to going through the gears doesn't mean slowing down. So I felt they should have finished that much earlier than they did.
That's a problem we noticed with Rahane and Raghuvanshi at the start of the season, right? I mean, you pointed out that this is a direct quote from you. Raghuvanshi looks like he's scoring fast, but he's actually not scoring really fast. Because he looks like a really classy batsman, but most of the time he's striking at 130, 135.
Yeah,
And again,
so today he finishes 59 of 47 with a strike rate of 125.
Rahane was at
Ajinkya
190.
Rahane finishes at
43 of
120.
36.
Yeah, so that's under 120 strike rate.
Yeah.
So it needed that little bit of Rinku Singh smashing it towards the end. Otherwise, I mean, they didn't. They took it to. I mean, it finished in the 19th over. They should have finished in the 15th, 16th over. Like they should have done it. They just completely slowed down, and for no earthly reason. The wicket wasn't doing anything. There were no quality spinners. I mean, they were, knocking it around for 5s and 6s in an over. From overs, let's say 9, 10 to 4 to 12, 13, 14. They just started just playing singles.
Could you argue that they were either start batting, or two, they were like, okay, fine, we've been shit this season. Let us guarantee the win. If we go for shots, there's a chance we get out. Green
that's
comes in and
what-
gets out. Let's stop the wider batting collapse and guarantee the win. Because for us, there's no difference between finishing it in the 14th over and the 90th over. The net run rate is not going to matter for us. Because either way, we're going to finish.
wait. I don't think they're taking one at a time. So that's why I'm saying for sides that are weak, right? Is it better that they get some of their informed batters a little more batting time? And as Nirav said, Ankush started the IPL well. He had a couple of 50s. After that, I think he had some 6 or 7 scores which are less than 20, 25. 3 single digit scores. So for somebody like him here, or for somebody like Rishabh Pant or Nicholas Puran in a Lucknow Super Giants, is it still value that they slow down but they guarantee a win and the batter is in form? Because I'm just trying to speak from a loser mentality. And talking of loser mentality, that's the game tomorrow. We have, unfortunately, teams playing 9th and 10th. Mumbai Indians taking on Lucknow Super Giants. Just wanted to check
Super over game.
Yeah.
Come on, give us a thriller. The last time 9 and 10 played each other, we got a super over. At that time, it was KKR and LSG.
Okay.
Yeah, probably the most entertaining match in the whole tournament, right? Besides that Mukul game.
Yeah.
So I would take.
I mean, at that time also KKR and LSG were 9 and 10.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
So that's an
9 and
interesting
10 have given us
parallel.
the best.
historically the best game so far in this league.
Yeah, I think things haven't gone
Yeah,
well for Mumbai. Mumbai as their ninth. Somebody like I remember this guy Romario Shepherd in one of RCB's videos saying that whatever you say of my bowling, I've taken 3 wickets. There are some guys who've just taken 2 wickets, and he was
Oh,
making a dig at Jasprit Bumrah. But I think for me, one thing to check is, hey, is Rohit Sharma going to be playing this game? I'm not sure exactly what's happening with him. There was some journalist called Rohit Juglan from the I forget which Rev Sports. He basically had tweeted that a senior Indian player went to the NCA and came back because the owners wanted him. This was just like a cryptic message. So I don't know if that the person here is Rohit Sharma or is it somebody else that's being spoken about.
I can confirm Rohit Sharma hasn't been to NCA.
Okay, so then that's somebody else then. So, but that said, tomorrow's game, it's a Monday. So it's a Monday tomorrow, and yeah, this whole long weekend is over. I'm also realizing that Sunday is now going to be over. Monday is Monday is there tomorrow. But I think Lucknow Super Giants, if they have to fix something with whatever little they have, they'd probably want to fix form of Nicholas Puran or Rishabh Pant. And I think I'm just curious if they now want to fix his form or they say, okay, just let's get Josh Inglis now. What do you think is going to happen?
They could have pulled the plug on Puran 3 games ago, and it wouldn't
yeah.
have made a difference. He's striking in the mid 70s, and he averages like 8 this whole year. So there's absolutely no point in playing him. I don't know if it's a mental fatigue or a technical flaw. An analyst on Twitter broke down something technical, but I'm not going to get into that. So it could be both. And you don't want to keep playing that guy because the more times you fail, the more times you don't make runs, the worse it gets on the player, right? Might as well tell him, mate, sit out for the rest of the season, go fix yourself up,
Yeah.
come back next year, come back stronger. We'll do what we can. Bring in Matthew Bretska, bring in Josh Inglis. They have good batting on the bench, and with a side that's as weak as LSG with the bat, they should consider bringing in replacements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that should be the direction in which it should go. But one thing that's been good for Mumbai in all of this, as we're speaking about Lucknow Super Giants, because both these sides have been under the radar and off the boil. Tilak Verma, he did have a good knock versus GT, but outside of that, I think he's had a fairly lean patch. So they've suddenly given Naman Dheer a promotion, and I think he scored like a couple of 50s. He scored a 40 plus strike rate about 148, except the last game, I think was a CSK, it was 22 of 70. But outside of
Fun
that,
fact on Tilak Verma,
But I still
he's
think
been
they
a
should use him as a finisher. I think
Ramandeep,
Namandeep.
okay.
I would still, yeah, I do feel that Tilak should be coming in earlier.
Feel like Namandir hasn't really gotten that opportunity to do so because oftentimes what you have seen with Mumbai is you see like wickets go down early, so they are sort of like wanting to get that lift off immediately. So we saw last game against Chennai with Will Jacks. You always see like a sort of wicket going down early. So I think they are bringing in Namandir a bit earlier to kind of like get those runs off, which Tifek Tilak can also do. But because considering the form that he is in, I think they are sort of just relying on Naman to sort of get that boost up in runs, which he was able to do with Rickleton until Rickleton got out. So
This
until
is the 11 I'd like to
he
see.
yeah. So I honestly, with I would say with Namandir, if Mumbai don't have like that starting hiccup where they lose an immediate wicket, I feel like they can sort of experiment with bringing Namandir as a finisher because I also agree with that. Namandir is better suited as a finisher, but I think just considering the circumstance that MI have been stuck at the start of the season, at the start of their innings, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, didn't
Dorian and
expect
I
them to be
before the
ninth and
show,
10th. Huh. Hmm.
before the show, we were digging up some numbers. He's scored 193 runs this season, and if you remove his century from that, his average. Dorian, do you want to tell them what his average is without the 100?
So his average with the 100 is 24. His average without the 100 more than halves to 11.5. In 8 innings, he averages 11.5 runs, which is to
Which is
say that
basically
I mean,
Nicholas
that's
Pooran with a
one
140
second.
strike rate.
That's bound to happen, right? You take away Sachin's hundreds, also his average will drop by half. So, I mean,
But
If
Sachin
it's
had 100
that's the
hundreds. Tilak Varma
no,
has
no,
one innings.
yeah.
Uh,
You can't
it
take out
is
hundreds and then count average. No, you
yeah, yeah. So
have
all,
averages.
all you're
That's
saying,
what that's the concept of an average is.
No, but even with the average, even with the 100, his average is 24.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
what they're
24 is a middling
essentially
average.
coming out is okay. If he's played 8 games, he's had failures in 7 games, been successful in one. The
Agreed.
one successful
Agreed.
game that he's had has built the average as such. But yes, that
Yeah.
said, that's
Yeah.
how these teams are stacking
In
up.
the postseason,
We'll
no, no.
let's have a MI's had a poor season. But yes, let's quickly take a round of predictions for who we think are going to win tomorrow. My guess, whatever be it, MI is again out to lose. Lucknow Super Giants, I'm waiting for them to come spray the ball around there and actually take Mumbai's top order out. I'm going to go with Lucknow electing to bowl and Lucknow winning it.
I'm
Nirav,
going with MI.
am I? Okay. Trinay?
Okay,
I'm
unless
going with
English comes in.
I'm going with
Okay.
Motion Khan Super Giants. I think he will dismantle Jax, Rickelt, and Horowitz, whoever comes, and then there won't be anything left.
What about
Dorian,
you,
what about you?
Dorian?
I'm gonna say MI because if Nicholas Puran plays, I have a feeling that his form will just dip. But if they play someone, if Lucknow plays someone else like Bretska or English in his place, I can see Lucknow possibly taking it close. But I can still say that MI will come out on top over Lucknow.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that's where we are. 61 people in the stream live. Thank you for all of your support. If you're not subscribed yet to the Cow Corner Dugout, please do consider subscribing by going over to YouTube. And we're there on YouTube as well as Instagram. 57 minutes into the stream, 61. And as much as our stream numbers have gone down over the last 3 days, it also shows the overall interest in the IPL slowly on the wane because we've seen I saw a report that the IPL is
Broadcast
also
numbers are down.
getting
Yeah.
broadcast numbers are down, which also means that numbers here are also down. It's good to see that we are proportional to whatever is happening in the interest level at the IPL. But that said, thank you for all your support watching us live, and yeah, looking forward to a game tomorrow. Again, back at 11 o'clock or maybe 10 minutes slightly earlier, just so if the game is about to be in an interesting state. But yeah, 11 p.m. is the anchor around which we build our show. Till then, it's the four of us saying goodbye. See you tomorrow
Ciao,
at
ciao.
11 p.m.